you are new here at Festive Creations by Stephanie, I'm Stephanie. And I teach people how to make beautiful things. My wall is blank right now, so that means we need to fill it up with something pretty. And I also sell the supplies to make those beautiful things, as well as I teach people how to grow their business. Whether it's online, in person, I teach you. If you have a handmade business, I teach you how to grow your online business. But today, we're going to focus on paradise. And I need paradise in my life because I have a house full of sick children. The biggest one being my husband. I'm sure if you are a wife, you might know what I'm talking about. He's been sick. He came home sick early yesterday, and he's been in bed since then. Yeah. And then Emma today. So I need my little R&R. So I thought I'd come in here and my craft room and make something new. And I've been dying to make this new wreath kit. So come on in and say hey. Let me find your video so that I can see what you're saying about me. There we go. Stephanie, Festive Creations. Hey, friends. Oh, and I did not turn that down, did I? Jace, you're in the house. Jace, did you get your package yet? I meant to send you a message. I got two things I want to send you. A message to let you know the girls shipped out your box before I had a chance to add some goodies. And second, I need to send the attachment if I haven't done that already. I've had so many things on my brain to do. But I'm glad you're home for a little while. That's cool. Peggy, Jacksonville, Florida's in the house. Janet, hello, my friend. Another Floridian in the house. Good to see you. Good to see you. So today, y'all, I'm going to be working on the Paradise. Welcome to Paradise Wreath Kit. If you go shopping at festivecreationsbystephanie.com, you can look this up under 621 kit. It's 621 kit, or Jill is actually going to be putting the link to it down below in the comments, and she'll pin it here. But you can always go directly to the website at festivecreationsbystephanie.com and find this wreath kit. You haven't got it, but I saw Jace, Grandma was snagged you up to go shopping, huh? I love that for you. All right, we're going to come down here on the table for a minute because I want to show you everything that comes in this kit. So you're going to get some of these, I forget what they're called. They remind me of tropical palm tree leaves, not leaves, but palm tropical. Look at this. This also comes, but let's go get all the way down to the bottom of here. And let's look at the main attraction. And that's going to be Welcome to Paradise. Our MDF sign where it's always happy hour. Check that out. Ferns. Thank you, Jason. I knew you would help me out with my tongue tied there. Hey, Denise. No, Denise, you know what? If it's not in my email, I don't remember it. I'm going to be honest. Recovering from emergency gallbladder removal. Peggy, daggone it. Hopefully you're doing better, girl. Up and around before we know it. So this little guy is absolutely gorgeous. So we're going to be using that and this 15-inch elevated work frame in this beautiful blue color. Reminds me of the ocean. And we're going to be using some red border stripe mesh. You get all of this in the kit. You're going to get 2 rolls of mesh, the sign, the 15-inch elevated work frame. You're going to get the fern, and then you're going to get this beautiful, let me take it out of the package because it's gorgeous. It has like wired twigs on it. It really reminded me of like Oceanside. But this one is so fun. I love the little twigs and everything's wired. So this makes it a lot of fun. And as you know, I like to add florals and fun things to my mesh wreaths to really give them some character. But look what else you get with this kit. You also get all 3 rolls of this ribbon. And look how pretty that is. And that bold black stripe just really brings out some character in all of this. So I'm super excited to put this one together. And this one actually may end up on my own personal deck. But remember, when you get a wreath kit from Festive Creations, or if you've never gotten one from me before, you will get a recipe card. And so the recipe card is to help give you guidance. So it works just like a recipe. If you received a frame, 3 rolls of ribbon, 2 rolls of mesh, and a square sign, you can use this QR code to go watch a video that will give you suggestions on how you can put the kit together. This one has the same thing, but a rectangle sign. So I would consider this to be a rectangle sign or a round sign. There's one with 1 roll of mesh and a round sign and a 10-inch frame. So you've got all kinds of different options here. So just use it like a recipe card and you'll be there in no time. Georgie Lee, how are you? Love to see you guys. I haven't been, I didn't get to go live hardly at all last week, but last week Eli was ill. This week it's Emma and Gary, and I'm praying that it does not hit me. I really am. I'm hoping that I can avoid it. We haven't got time to be sick. All right, so I'm going to start by prepping everything, and I'm going to begin. I don't need the jute rope on this sign, so I'm going to cut that off and just discard that. But I will need some pipe cleaners, and I use my electric stapler because, you know, the older I get, the harder it is to staple and, you know, like squeeze a regular stapler. So I'm going to use some pipe cleaners. Let me see if I'm going to be using red mesh. Let me see if I have some red pipe cleaners here. I know I have, oh, I do. So we're going to be using 4 red pipe cleaners. And we'll also use some hot glue. So what I like to do is take that frame and kind of figure out, before I even start adding mesh, I like to just discover where I want to add my sign. Where's it going to look best at before I start adding it? So it might look good right there smack in the middle, or down at the bottom, up at the top, over to the side, or the side. So knowing where you're going to put this before we get started can be very helpful, because that's going to determine where I put my twist ties or my pipe cleaners, attach them to the back of the sign so that I know where they're going to go. And I kind of like it up here towards the top and a little over to the right. So I'm going to put a pipe cleaner here and here on the back side, and here on the back side. So let's turn this over. And I only use 1/4-inch staples, but I will tell you, if you purchase a sign and you're not sure how thick it is, please don't put any staples in it until you've tested it out first. I know that this works really well on these signs, but I've been doing this for a while. And I know my staples are just the right depth so that it doesn't go through the sign. And the worst thing that we can do is ruin a perfectly good sign by running a staple through the front side. Now, after I staple it, y'all, after I staple it, I actually go over it with a little bit of glue. I thought maybe 2024 would be a good year. I didn't need surgery 4 years in a row, Peggy. That's enough of that nonsense. No more. No more. Jace. Okay, we're putting Facebook up for adoption then. How dare they? How dare they kick you out? So I like to add just a little spot of glue right on top of my staples, just in case one of my staples were to fail me. And then I have kind of like a second line of defense. You know what it is, Jace, is Facebook is going, dude, you haven't been on very much lately, so we're mad at you. But I know you're going to make up for that. You're going to make up for lost time, dude. Going to make up for it. Okay. By the way, if you don't know Jace, a dear friend of mine, he's a touch of Decor, and he is also an airplane stewardess. So he's gone a lot of times. He just got back from a couple week hiatus traveling all over the place. And so go check out Jace at A Touch of Decor here on Facebook. He'll be using some of our products here shortly. Peggy, if you know Jace at all, you know he can be a handful. He's gonna cause his own hurricane. Right? Jace, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're all just joking with Jace. Because we can. We're just glad to see him home. Okay. So again, this wreath kit came with 2 rolls of mesh. So we're going to start by cutting. We're just actually going to cut both of them together. And these are going to be cut at 32-inch strips. 32. You can actually go as much as 36. Just remember, the more mesh that you have, the thicker it's going to make it. I just kind of like the 32-inch cut, the 32-inch size. So we'll get started cutting. And again, because we already know we need 18 of them. So the wreath frame itself has 18 twist ties. So we will need 18 32-inch strips. Peggy, you know Jace well, don't you? Don't you? Okay. Let's start off by, oops, whoa, go away, go away. Down here on the end, I like to cut this off so it's kind of like a fresh cut at the beginning. And now we'll measure out to 32 inches. And we'll do this 9 times. Renee, oh no, has put me nearly to bedridden, can barely walk to my kitchen. Trying to get in as soon. Oh, Renee, girl, I hope you can get in soon, that's for sure. That is certainly a lot to deal with. A lot. There's 2. So we're just going to cut a total of 18 of these. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to see y'all up here because we don't have to watch me cut mesh 18 rolls. And once I cut it, it goes on the floor. If y'all know me, you know it goes on the floor. Regina, good to see you. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. You know, Renee, that just, it makes me sad that you're having the problems with the spinal stenosis, and then it just makes it's a reality check for me that I'm okay, even though I've got a house full of sick ones. It's temporary, right? I mean, it might be like a 48-hour bug. That's what Eli's was last week. So I just need to be grateful that that's all it is. You just reminded me of that. So there's your positive moment for the day, if you want to call it that. Vicky Gonzalez, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. All right, we're going to do 18 of these. So I'm cutting 2 at a time. So I need 9 sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I need 1 more set. Regina, thank you. In fact, if any of you would like to sprinkle my live to any of the crafting groups that you belong to, I would so appreciate it. And I'm also live on YouTube today. So, hey, YouTube, follow me, subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of DIY kits on here and break it down step by step. So out of the 2 rolls of mesh, this is about what we have left on those rolls. Not a whole lot of mesh left. What size shipping box for that wreath? Teresa, this would go in a 22 by 22 by 8 inch box. That's what it will go in. 22 by 22 by 8. All right. Glad you came on. Reminds me to sign up for your, yes, Carrie, Etsy Made Easy starts on Sunday, April 14th. It's a 5-day workshop where I show you how to open your Etsy shop step by step. I hold your hand the whole way. It's all recorded information so you can watch it at your leisure. You will have access to the information for at least 30 days. But during the workshop, I will be live in that workshop all 5 days at 2 p.m. Central. And I'll be there answering your questions. I'm going to show you how to make your shop banner, how to make if you don't have a logo yet, we're going to get your shop all opened on Etsy. Go to Etsy Made Easy, etsymadeeasy.info. And maybe Jill can put that address in the chat here in just a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, we can also put it in the description on YouTube. All right, so I'm cut these, if you recall, at 32 inches. And so I'm rolling them and I'm doing a curl on the end. I'm just kind of rolling it in a couple of curls. And then I'm going to ruffle this by walking up the middle. And boom. If you have a clothespin, that helps on the opposite end. So I can't necessarily hold on to it. But I'm going to end up with like a little butterfly ruffle, just like this. And I put it curl side up. Curl side up versus some people like it curl side down, or you might alternate it because guess what? There are no rules. There's no rules. You do it the way you want it done. The one that appeases you the most. I'm going to take that and I'm going to push it all the way next to my wreath frame. Push it next to that wire and then in between that twist tie and give that twist tie a couple of twists. And now we have our first ruffle added to our frame. I'm going to continue that all the way around the outer side until we've got the completely have the bottom covered. I always start with the bottom when I do the ruffle method. So this is a woodland ruffle. This was actually a technique a dear friend of mine, Tiffany, designed or created. Thought of, discovered, whatever you want to do, way back when. And that's why it's called the woodland ruffle. And so we're going to do that all the way around the outer edge. I do skip one and I'll come back and fill it in because it makes it lay much nicer for me. All right, Renee, girl, you take care of you, okay? I mean that. Daggone it. I hate it here when people are in pain or having difficulties like that. The nurse in me just kicks in. Because trust me, nobody wants to be hurting, for sure. All right, so we're going to continue this all the way around. I'm going to roll it in a couple. I'm going to walk it up the center, make my ruffle, and now that I've got this one and this one, I'm going to go back and put this one right on top in between. And I will tell you, if you've never tried this, thank you, Jill, for adding that Etsy Made Easy link there. If you've never tried this, this will help your mesh lay super neat and clean and nice. It just makes the biggest difference, I will tell you. I love when I discovered that. By alternating and then going back and putting in the middle. So I do that on both the top and the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that all the way around, and now I can catch up on comments. Did I miss any comments? I'm trying to watch both. Hey friends, if you're just joining, this is the Welcome to Paradise Wreath Kit. And we cut our mesh strips into 32-inch strips. We've already got our sign prepared and we're going to be attaching that shortly. And this one's going to be fun. It's going to be very, very summery. Summer, summer, summer. Getting ready to go. Guys, I know this may sound crazy to you, but next month, is it end of next month, I will be traveling to start shopping for next spring and Easter. So yeah, I already have Christmas shopped for. In fact, Christmas is starting to roll in now. How many of you have even thought about start designing for Christmas or fall or Halloween? Because we are starting to get all of that stuff in. And we get it in early because, of course, people that do craft shows, they need to work ahead and they have to work kind of all year round so that they have the inventory they need when they go to their craft shows. So trust me, we're getting it in. What are you guys currently working on? One day at a time. Shelly, absolutely. What are you guys working on? I know a lot of people said every day. I'm sorry, I missed the box size because my phone rang and messed up my stream. Teresa, it's a 22 by 22 by 8. 22 by 22 by 8. And it will fit very nicely in that size box. Not a problem. Teresa said working on fundraising wreaths. Awesome. So what's the fundraiser for? Like, is it for a specific cause? Well, I'm over here dancing with my mesh. It's a dance we do. I'll show you the dance here in a minute. Carol said she's in a slump right now. When you say you're in a slump, what does that mean? That you have lack of motivation or lack of inspiration? Tell me what your slump is. Be a little more specific for me. Maybe we can help you. Debbie says she's definitely working on every day, summer, and starting to plan fall. Awesome. Debbie, I think you were on the live the other day when I showed you some of the new fall ribbon that came in. Wow. We're supposed to be getting some more in soon. In fact, the girls, I didn't go to the shop today because I have the two sick ones here today. Emma and Gary are both ill. So Jill did say that a truck was coming in when she came home for lunch, that there was a truck coming in. So we might have gotten even some more new stuff today. Lack of motivation. Okay, Carol. So that's helpful. It narrows things down. So during lack of motivation, it's like, what? Awesome, Debbie. Why did you start making in the first place? What was your motivation back then? What was your inspiration? Like me, I started making wreaths because number one, I love to decorate my house for the seasons. And I was unemployed. And I was enjoying unemployment. First time in my life I've ever drawn unemployment. But I was enjoying it. But I had all of my household. I had the house spotless. I had the yard groomed and everything planted and all the fun things. And then I became bored. So I wanted a new wreath for my front door. But I'm like, I'm not working. So I didn't necessarily want to go pay for a new wreath. And I thought, and I've always been crafty. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can make my own. I started during COVID and needed something to keep busy. Awesome. So what do you do now that COVID is all calmed down? I won't say gone because it's not gone, but what do you do now that it's gone? Do you work outside of the home? Or what do you do to keep busy? Ursula's getting ready for a show. Seems like every wreath I started, I'm missing something that I want for it. Girl, I think that's the reason I sell so many kits is because a lot of those key pieces are already put together for you, unless it's something like, you know, cable tie mounts or something like that. But yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying though. You're like, oh my gosh, I gotta make another trip or I gotta place another order. I'm retired and have no energy. Got you. Got you, got you. So, one thing that helps me get motivated is finding a new home for my designs. Now, I have been known to go to the local high school, the local churches, and show my appreciation for the community. So one time, actually Heather helped out with this. She took some of my designs to the teachers at school, and let me tell you, and I gifted them. They were a gift. But let me tell you, the smiles, the ladies were going crazy over how it made their day. And I know that, you know, not everybody's in a position that they can do that. And I'm fortunate that I was able to do something like that. Of course, you know, doing something nice for the church is always welcome as well. And another thing, Carol, that I'm getting ready to do, this will be my 4th year, is I'm going to be hanging bows around our town, our community, for Memorial Day. So I am making patriotic bows, and I will hang them at the post office, at the firehouse. It's seeing the expression on people's faces. It's seeing that joy, and that's my motivation. I don't know if that helps you any, but, you know, thinking about that positive reaction. I have a staging area to line up next project, and this has helped me get organized. Debbie, that's awesome. Red flowers, white flowers, pink flowers, and all of the things. Been buying signs, mesh, and forgot about florals. Oh no! Yes. Well, go to festivecreationsbystephanie.com. We've got all those colors and florals. All of them. And depending on what your designs are, like I have poppies, which are great for Memorial Day and patriotic. I've got red, white, and blue. I've got mini roses in royal blue. I've got so many different. I've got pinks. Go check it out. Go check out the floral section, Ursula. I'll help you out, girl. I'll do it now. Okay, girl. Yes, ma'am. Carol, I hope that gives you a little inspiration. I get it. But I know me, myself, if I stay in my house too long, if I don't get out and moving, I can get in a funk. And sometimes it just means, because I work from home especially, it just might mean get in the car and go take a drive. But I am itching to go take a drive and go to Hobby Lobby because I want to add a couple of things to my upcoming summer decorations. Oh, Teresa, bless your heart. I'm glad you got it. Yay. All right, let's see how this is looking, y'all. We're almost through. I've started on the top row, and we've just got a few more ruffles to go. Let's see. It looks like maybe 3 more ruffles to go. And we will then start adding a Mother's Day and a patriotic one. So I did make a Mother's Day wreath. That one, in fact, I just put it down in my my rack. I just added it to my rack. I've got a wreath kit for Mother's Day. And then I just moved one of the patriotic ones. I have a red, I just moved that one, red, white, and moo. It's one of my favorites. But Janet, get busy, girl. Get busy. Look at how beautiful this is. All right, we've got one here and one over there. 2 more ruffles. And if you're just joining, these were 32-inch cuts in this Paradise Wreath Kit. 32 inches. And we're going to be adding that fern and that beautiful nautical looking, hang on a second. I'll show you the florals that I put in with this wreath kit. They're so fun. I'm loving the craft and conversation. Maureen, girl, I'm a talker. Just ask anybody here. But this other greenery that comes with it, look how fun that is. It's got, it just reminds me of, you know, something at the ocean side or that would be near the water. Super fun. All right, one more ruffle, and then we're going to start adding some character there. Joann's is going out of business. I saw that. Everything's marked down. There's not a lot left, but I noticed flowers. Oh, yes. Yes, go grab some. If you can still grab some. Yeah, that's so sad that they're going out of business. Where I live, I don't have anything to choose from. That was it, Joann's and Hobby Lobby. And now that Joann's is going, the only thing that's in my area is Hobby Lobby unless I drive 45 miles. And that makes me sad. So it is what it is. I get it. I get it. But all right, so guys, look at this. Here's our wreath base. And I'll show you this way as well. Nice full wreath base. So that is 32-inch strips. We cut 18 of them and made them into the woodland ruffle. And now we're getting ready to add some fun. So I'm going to be adding some of this fern, some of this fun, I don't even want to call it a floral, but, and then of course our sign that we already prepared, welcome to paradise. And where it's always happy hour. So let's come on back down here, Michael's in Springfield. It's a day trip for us. Yeah, Shelly. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, thank you. So I decided, if you were on earlier, I decided that I want to do the sign a little towards the top up here. So I'm going to move my twist ties a little out of our way. And we're going to go right in here and attach this to our frame. So let me come down here and I'm going to feed those pipe cleaners down in between the mesh onto our frame. I said this one might actually, my deck is more like hot pinks and flamingos. So I'm not sure if this is going to work on my deck, but I do have a flamingo kit I might need to put together just for the occasion. Ooh, look at that. All right, make sure I'm on one on each side. Yes, I am. And tighten this down. Let's go to this side and, uh-oh, I just knocked off a roll ribbon. We got a ribbon down, My email address, Virginia, is info@festivecreationsbystephanie.com. info@festivecreationsbystephanie.com. Virginia, I responded to an email from you this morning. So you might want to check your email because I did email you back on something that you had emailed this morning. Just saying, girl. Okay. I love this sign. Love it, love it, love it. There we go. Let me grab my roll of ribbon that fell. So with this kit, you also get all 3 rolls of ribbon, and then of course this fern and this floral. So my vision is that I want my fern to kind of come around this way. And when I get done here. So I want, if you can envision that we're going to put maybe a bow right here, and we're going to bring this, we're going to kind of curve this around. That's kind of where my vision is. And I may actually do them together. We'll see. We shall see. I like them both though. Or I can do a long one up here. Nope, I don't like that as much. I have a feeling that I'm going to do more of like this. We're going to come around and make it a U-shaped more this way. So let's start. And it's totally up to you if you want to add ribbon tails. You do get all 3 rolls of this ribbon with this kit. You can certainly do ribbon tails easily, but remember we do have our greenery that we're going to add to. But I think, let's see what happens when we add some of this beautiful blue and yellow. Let's stack some up and see what happens when we put those together along with all of our other colors here. Yay. All right. Whoops. Don't knock off the bow maker. So let's just start with a 12-inch ribbon tail. And a lot of times I'll do this. I'll kind of lay it out and see what I think I want and then experiment. Does anybody else do that? Like give it a trial run first before you go committing to it all. All right, so let's fold these 2 in half and let's bring them up to our wreath base and see if we're gonna like that. See if we wanna commit to it. I can already tell you that I love this already. I love the 2 colors together next to the red. What do you guys think? Do you like that? I love the colors together. I am a trial run stage yet. Well, and it's not even a yet, Debbie, because, you know, look how long I've been doing this. Because everybody's got a kind of a different vision of what they want to accomplish. And sometimes I don't even know what I want to accomplish yet. So, all right, so I'm going to take my ribbon tail board and I'm going to cut, actually, I'm just going to cut 10 right now and hold off on any more than that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're going to do just around the bottom and go from there. Bring out the sun and breaks up the red. I like it, Teresa said. Yes, I agree. Definitely, definitely. Ugh. So we're going to do just the outer. And one of the reasons, too, I like to do it this way is to show you guys, again, my big key thing is there are no rules. You don't have to be a cookie cutter. You don't have to do things exactly like the designer before you or the one that you're watching. Be brave. Dare to go and be different. Let me count these for a second. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more. I watched, when I was learning to make wreaths, I watched somebody who made the same recipe over and over again. And by the time they got done adding their ribbon, you couldn't even see any of the mesh. And that was one of the qualities that I was like, you know what, as a wreath maker, I would choose not to do it that way. But it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. I just choose not to do mine that way. I want to be able to, you know, if I spend money and, you know, some of the mesh that we purchase, especially like fabric mesh, can be a little more on the pricey side. And if I'm going to pay, you know, money, good money for a roll of mesh, I want to be able to see it and enjoy it, right? I don't know about you all, but I do. All right, so we cut 10 of these. We're just going to go right now around the outer edge of our wreath frame. By the way, I know somebody mentioned Joann's going on clearance, and as I'm cutting these, go see if they have any Fiskars. These are Fiskar shears. They are now 7, 8 years old and have never been sharpened. I only use them on my ribbon, on my fabric, and I've never sharpened them. And let me tell you, they are still amazing. So if you have a Joann's near you, go check out their clearance on their shears. You might discover a gold mine when it comes to just the right pair of scissors to keep for your ribbon. Mine are Fiskar shears, and I think Joann sells the Fiskars brand, if I do recall. I know that I feel like originally I ordered these off of Amazon, but since then I've seen them at Joann's. Does anybody know? Maureen, yeah. Okay, here we go. Let me trim that. Got a little off track there. And here we go. Let's add these around the bottom. So I'm just going to add, I'm going to place it in that twist tie and give it a couple of good twists. And then kind of fan it out a little bit. And we're going to move on. Stack them, fold it. I kind of pinched it so I know where the center is. And then gather it and put it right there. There we go. Ooh, okay. I was just at Joann's this morning. Only 2 blocks away. They are staying open here. I asked the manager and he said, not all stores are closing, huh? Carrie said they were on sale a couple of weeks ago. The Fiskars were. That's awesome. Good deal. Good to know. And I did not know that some of the stores were staying open. Thank you for that. I must have misused mine because they're only had them for 2 years. So the key thing is these are the shears. And so they are the shears, and I only use them on my ribbon. That's it. My husband, Gary, one day, many years ago, I see him with my scissors in his hand, and he's about to cut something that's not approved. And I yelled at him, startled the daylights out of him, and I was like, no, 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 no. You don't touch my scissors ever, dude. And he's never touched them since then. He's a quick learner. Virginia, please don't send me your credit card information. Please don't. Please don't. I know that y'all love me and that y'all trust me, but I don't want to be responsible for that. What if I get hacked? And then they find your information. I'm not a secure, my email is not a secure website. It's not. You have to log in and update it through that link that they gave you. You have to log in through that link. Okay? So I will look for that and I will delete your credit card information. I don't even want to know what it was. I am really amazed sometimes at how many people will do that. And I just cringe, y'all. I can't even imagine. I know I've been around for a long time, and I am very trustworthy, trust me. But you just never know. You just never know what might happen, and I don't want to be responsible. So please, please, please don't send me your credit card information. Ever. Okay, so I understand that you may have already sent it, but I'm going to just delete it. When I see the email, I'm just going to delete it. But I need you to log into your account through that link that they gave you and update your credit card through there. I can't do that on your behalf. And again, I don't want to do it. Don't make me responsible. Okay. What is the average cost to ship a wreath? Teresa, there are too many variables to give you a solid answer, but I can tell you this. Go to a place that's called pirateship.com. Yes, just like it sounds, pirateship.com. You're going to set up an account with your home address. So you might live in Canada. So whatever it costs for you to ship to Illinois is going to be different than me shipping to Illinois, shipping to Missouri. So it's going to depend on where it's coming from and where it's going. You have to have both your location and where it's going to go, a zip code where it's going to go. It also is going to depend on what size of a box you have and how much does it weigh. So there's too many variables. So there's no way I would even begin to estimate for you how much it's going to cost to ship a wreath. If you live in Florida and are shipping to California, it's going to cost you a bundle. Those are two of the highest shipping zones across the United States. But if you live in Alabama and you're shipping to Louisiana, it's going to be a lot cheaper. So go to pirateship.com. If you're taking my Etsy Made Easy course, we actually go over some of that shipping stuff in there. Okay? Etsy Made Easy. Yes, I ship to Canada. Absolutely. Remind me of the email address to get a link to change my credit card. I got frauded again 2 times 5s. So you have to log directly into your account. Just log in, Beth, log into your account. And because you have that subscription, it's through us. Make sure that you're in the subscription account. And also, when you are in the subscription, they'll send you a reminder before it's going to be taken out, and they'll give you a link to update your email address. If you are in the Blooms and Greenery box subscription, that one is starting to ship right now. So you might want to check on that immediately. Blooms and Greenery box. Okay, guys, look. This is it so far. So we just put, we just put that on the outer edge. We put the, well, if I can get it straight, we put the color on the outer edge, and I wanted to see what that looks like before we add any more. Let's do an overhead view, because sometimes we don't always have to have ribbon tails galore. So I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon about 22 inches long, and I'm going to dovetail the ends. You're welcome, Beth. Not a problem. And for those of you just joining us, this is my Welcome to Paradise Wreath Kit. All right, so I'm going to take this 22-inch piece of ribbon. I dovetailed it, and I'm just made it into a breast cancer awareness ribbon. And I'm going to center that, pinch this right here in the middle. I have to lay it down on the table to get a really tight pinch. And we're going to put that right here in this twist tie. And now, instead of a blue and yellow ribbon tail, we have just the yellow. Look how pretty that looks. So I'm going to do that all the way around, and then we're going to make some fun happen really fast. Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. All right, 22 inches. We're going to make 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I'm only going to make 4 more, and I'm going to show you why here in just a moment. Let's get these all trimmed, dovetailed. I hear Emma in there. Do you ever know, when you had kids, or if you have kids, with us having Emma and Eli, it's like all the memories are coming back. When they don't wake up and get up for school, you automatically are like, oh no, they're not feeling well. So this morning, that was it. The alarm went off. I heard Emma's alarm go off. I heard her shut off the alarm, but she never got out of bed. And I immediately knew. I was like, oh no, she's not feeling well. Because these kids are at the age that they really love going to school. I'm going to move this one for a minute because I'm not sure if I want to keep it there. So I'm going to relocate it if we need it. I'm going to put it back or put one there. But for right now, I'm going to go above the sign. Remember, I put this sign a little more towards the top of the wreath kit. Okay. Hey, Margaret, how are you? Good to see you. Margaret, I'm live on YouTube right now, too. Can you believe that? That one's being covered up there, so I'm okay there. I am actually going to put a bow in this area, so I don't necessarily need to put a tie there, but I do want to come around here. Chrissy Boomer, hey friend, what's up? Chrissy, what's going on? Not this weekend, but the next weekend. Gary and I will be out and about again for karaoke. Not this weekend, next weekend. And what is this? I saw a post on Facebook from your daughter about plans for a baby. That was the first thing first time I've seen it acknowledged on Facebook. So congratulations, Grandma, to Miss Gabby. My jaw just drops every time I think about it. So those of you, give you a little back end story. Gabby, Chrissy's daughter, used to do karaoke with us when she was 3 years old. And she would come out to family karaoke and she would sing her little heart out. She would sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. She was so much fun at karaoke. And now she's having a baby. She's all grown up. She's been grown up for a while, though. I guess I just don't remember how many years ago that's been. It seems like it was just like a couple of years ago. Okay, so I ended up putting one back there anyway, but let's make a bow. I don't need a super big bow, but I want to do lots of colors right in here, and I want to bring in some of this black ribbon. I want to talk about that. We're also going to be utilizing some of this fern and some of our other fun greenery that comes with this wreath kit in this bow. So I'm going to be using the Easy Bow Maker for this one. As you know, sometimes I'll use the M's Bow and Go, the Bow and Go, or sometimes I use the Easy Bow. Right now I'm going to be using this one, and we're going to start out with that 2.5 inch beautiful blue ribbon. This does not need tails. So we're just going to make a short tail here around 6 to 7 inches. And we're going to make our loops about 6 inches. And we're going to do 4 loops on the bottom at 6 inches. I'm just super excited for you, Chrissy. You and Mike both. More grandbabies on the way. All right. So we did 2 loops on the bottom on each side, so 4 total. But now we're going to take some of this black and white vertical stripe. I should have seen if I had some open. I probably do. Hang on a second. Because y'all know I despise having 2 rolls of ribbon open of the same thing. So yes, I do. That's not exactly the same. Okay. It's not exactly the same thing, so we'll use this one. Whoops. Wow. Okay. So adding this black next is going to keep it lower in the visual field because we don't want it to be main attraction. So we kind of want to bury it down a little bit. And I'm going to come in to about a 4.5 to 5 inches loops. And we're going to do 2 loops on each side at that measurement. But before we go any further, because I want to be able to see that blue underneath it. But before we go any further, let's stop for a minute and let's add some of our fern. So I'm going to take our wire cutters and I'm going to add one of our fern stems, there we go, right in here because it's going to be a part of our wreath itself. And take off my tag. I'm not sure I need to keep, I do love that. I love this. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to trim this one off. When I add in florals like this, I always use a zip tie to secure it. All right, now we're going to go and we're going to add some of that yellow on top. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to add some more of the blue. I'm going to come back in here and I'm just going to add 2 single strips of blue. So about 12 inches. Remember, no rules. There are no right or wrong way to do things. And this might seem a little outside of the box to you, but it's not for me. So the reason I'm going to do this is I'm going to add this so that it helps put that black a little bit more buried into my bow. But look what else it's doing. It's covering up my fern ends. I've got all that fern kind of flowing out this way and it's covering up those ends. Now let's come in with that on top of our, with our yellow. And we're just gonna do twist. I'll dovetail that in a minute. Come in about an inch shorter, twist, twist. And we don't need a whole lot of yellow because we have yellow really shining through over here on the wreath itself. So we don't need a heavy lot of yellow in the bow itself. Now let's take that zip tie. Let me go ahead and dovetail these. Pooey. I'll do them here in a minute. All right, so let's take a zip tie. And by the way, I do have my glue pot on over here because we're going to be needing some hot glue for the next step. These. So I'm going to come underneath with my zip tie. And I'm going to start pulling that together. But before I tighten it completely down, I'm going to have another piece of just plain floral wire, and we're going to add that to this so we can attach it to the wreath frame. And I don't need a super long piece. That one should be quite sufficient. So as we lift this up, everything's going to come off together. So now I'm going to bring that zip tie around the back, kind of pull it, but before I tighten it, I'm going to add that extra piece of floral wire, and that's what we're going to use to attach it to our frame here in a few moments. Now I'll go ahead and tighten this, and look, my florals are already attached without any glue. So think about where, if you sell your items, your designs, your beautiful creations, they can go to anywhere in the world, basically. And so we have to think about the different locations that they could be at, such as, you know, the beautiful hot desert in Arizona, where it's, you know, 110 in the shade on a cool day. And that can cause our glue to melt, right? So I don't like to be dependent on glue at all for everything, or I like to have that secondary device, secondary whatever. I don't know what else to call it. I don't know what to call it. In case one of the systems fails. So in this case, my zip tie is not going to melt. Chances are very good my zip tie is not going to melt. So my florals are going to stay in place. But if I glued them in, it's possible that that glue would melt in the hot weather, and then my ferns would wilt. They would come out. All right. Let me cut this off. I've got it all lined up here. And now we're going to add this to our wreath frame. And don't forget, we still have these beautiful items, and I'm going to show you how we're going to add those with the 2 ways to attach it. We're going to double attach those as well. So let's bring this back over, and let me get you back overhead again. Is the black and white ribbon added for the black lettering? Yes, Maureen. And it adds that layer of coloring. And now watch what happens when we add that next to our sign. So remember, the black is just more of a subtle, and that's why we added, and it also helps break up the colors in that bow, but it certainly pulls some of that black lettering out. Look what that looks like. Fun. All right, so I'm going to feed my wires down through my mesh. Maybe. Where did you go? Come back, come back. There it is. I feel you now. You can run, but you can't hide. Okay. Remember, welcome to paradise where it's always happy hour. Now, I want to position this before I tighten it down because I want it to be a little bit lower than the sign itself, but I want it to kind of barely be touching the sign. Love it. Now, these ferns, as they are extending out, we don't want them flopping around in the wind, right? So we're going to secure them a little bit. We're going to actually use our twist ties to help secure them. But before we do that, we're going to integrate some of this in there as well. So this has, all of these are wired, so they're bendable branches. And I may actually, let me see. Let's add, I'm gonna give that a kind of a longer tail here. We're gonna add some of that right into there. I want a shorter one kind of coming out the top. For right now, we're just gonna place a few of them. I know for sure I want this one. And again, they are wired. If we go kind of in this location, and let's do, this is probably going to get cut shorter because I don't want it that tall. And one more over here. So we're going to be able to use all 5 stems. I got 5 cuts out of this. But this is going to have, I'm going to add some glue to the ends of these right here as I put them down underneath my bow and wiggle it into the mesh. I like to show you that ahead of time because once I get glue on here, I'm going to work very quickly. And I'm not going to worry about the fern ends yet, but let's add some glue and then I'm going to show you how we're going to double secure this. So I'm dip a little of that in the glue pot, which needs to come a little bit warmer. Then I go underneath my bow, kind of wiggle it around into the mesh so the glue's touching as many places as possible. And I'm going to do that with all 3 pieces on this end. This one's going to kind of go more centered. The more places I can touch, the better. And where's my last piece? What did I do with it? Uno, dos. Oh, there you are. Come back. This one I might shorten up just a little bit more. And then, of course, if you've got a glue gun, you can also go underneath your bow and use your glue gun to add the glue as well. But you see, like right here where I have that twist tie, I'm also going to be taking that twist tie and using it to help attach my greenery. Oh, there's one I didn't dovetail. Absolutely, Debbie. Then our ferns, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to be using those twist ties to help stabilize our fern. So if we take this, lay it on top of our fern, bring that twist tie and just give it a little bit of a twist. Oops, helps if you get them both in there, Stephanie. A little bit of a twist. And we're going to do that around the bottom too. This one I want to bend a little more this way. Bring this together. The stiff ones I'm not too worried about, but the ferns, I do want to get those secured. So I'm going to use this twist tie. And now we're going to do the top. Where's my, there we go. Okay, let's turn around. Let's glue down our top ones. This one can probably go a little bit shorter. And I want to keep that color. So again, I'm going to lift up that bow. I'm going to go down into the mesh and kind of wiggle around. There is a twist tie right here, so I'm going to kind of use it to help anchor. So if my glue fails me, it's secured in more than one way. And now this one. Under, wiggle. Twist tie and secure it. Then I had one of these come off, so I'm going to bring that down and make it a part of my bow by just using a little bit of glue. Ta-da! And of course, you know the little trick on how to get rid of glue strings. If you have glue strings, does anybody know the little trick? That easy little hack? Do you ever have glue strings just kind of like be your worst nemesis? Anybody know that little hack? I know it takes you a minute to type in your answers and for it to get here. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. All right, friends, look. Get it. Blow dryer. Debbie got it. Debbie got it. Yes, ma'am. Just take a blow dryer on low heat and you got it. That'll take care and melt those glue strings right away. And while you guys are looking at the front, I'm trimming up some of my excess wires here in the back from my bow and my sign. And there you have it. There you have it. Y'all, how fun is this? I will get some really great, awesome close-up pictures of it and get it posted for you so that you can see the finished design. But this is fun. It's tropical. It's a lot of fun. And the colors just scream summer, don't they? I love the summer colors in here. All right, friends, thanks for hanging out. YouTube, thanks for hanging out with me too. And I will see you guys soon. Facebook, I'll be live tomorrow. We're having a live sale tomorrow. Come join us and we'll see you then. Have a good one, y'all.